The manufacturers of Blue Can Water sent us a 24 case of their 50-year shelf life water for us to test and review. Here's what we learned. This is our family's review of Blue Can Water.
So just what is Blue Can Water? Blue Can Water is a 12-ounce aluminum can of purified drinking water that has been hermetically sealed to achieve a 50-year shelf life. It can withstand heat exposure and is an excellent source of emergency drinking water.
So our family did a little taste test. We'll let you take a look at the results.
And now it's time to test the water. We have 3 different candidates of water, and none of these guys are aware of what is in each cup. So, you may all taste the water, and then what I'd like to know is which one you like best, and if there's any of them that you feel are nasty. Okay, go. Are we done?
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, are all of these waters drinkable?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
They're all drinkable?
Yeah.
Are there any of them that you did not like, that you thought, oh, this is disgusting?
Not
No.
really.
No.
The third one was a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't like
it.
it. Tastes like a water bottle. Yeah, it tastes like a water
okay.
bottle, but you know, it was good.
Well, all the waters are delightful. The first one was probably the best, but they all tasted good. None of them were nasty.
Okay, Ben, you sum it up for me.
All right, so I thought the second one was the best, and then the first one was the best after that. There wasn't too much of a difference between those two, and then the third one was the last for me. But the third one was still really good. Water is water; it's delicious.
Okay, Christy, you sum it up.
They were all good and they're all like drinkable. I think the first one was the best though. The other two, there wasn't as much difference
It was
between.
probably because of the temperature, though, because they all were in the
Yeah.
same temperature, and the colder
First
ones were
one's the
better.
colder
The
one.
colder ones were better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Daddy.
I agree with the temperature thing. I like my water cold. They were all drinkable, but the colder the water is, the better it tastes to me.
And there you have. That's our drinking test. Okay, number one was fridge water.
Yeah.
Number 2 was bottled water.
Yeah.
And number 3 is Blue Can Water. And actually the Blue Can Water is the one that was warm. The other 2 were both cold.
Blue Can Water definitely has some advantages. One is that it has a guaranteed 50-year shelf life. There's no need to rotate your water storage, and it should be as good the day you store it as it is in 50 years. It's pure, clean tasting water, and heat exposure will not damage it, which that is very different from bottled water. And one of the biggest advantages is that you have peace of mind knowing that you have clean drinking water stored no matter what happens. There are 2 main disadvantages to Blue Can Water that I can see. The first one is expense. And you can look at that a couple different ways, but the initial investment, it's going to hurt because it is a lot of money. But after that one initial investment for the next 50 years, your water storage is taken care of. The other disadvantage is that freezing will damage these cans and cause them to split and leak. Blue Can Water makes a small 6-pack cooler that is ideal to put in your vehicle emergency kit, except, as we just talked about, in the wintertime. If you live in Phoenix, Arizona in the wintertime, this is great for you. But if you live in Canada, this is not a good choice for you because these cans will split and leak when they freeze.
The real big question is Blue Can Water worth the cost? And that's an individual decision. It's something that you will have to think about. There are 2 basic kinds of preppers. One is a budget prepper. This means as related to your water storage, you're probably going to find some used barrels that can be cleaned out and filled with water. This is going to be a fairly inexpensive solution in comparison to some others.
And there's nothing wrong with being a budget prepper. right? The most important thing is that water storage.
Exactly
And there are
right.
a couple different ways to go about it.
We just need to get the job done.
The value prepper goes about things differently. This prepper works hard to make sure that basic needs are met in the best, most reliable way possible. He or she understands the critical nature of water storage and would not blink at paying $2 a can for purified water that will safely store for 50 years. Budget prepper or value prepper, the important thing is that you're a prepper and you get your water storage.
Precisely. And in reality, I think probably most of us fit into both of these camps on different kinds of things.
It was really cool that our family had a chance to review the Blue Can water. Before we had done this review, I really honestly would have looked at it and said, that is way overpriced. However, after having had a chance to review it and look at it and evaluate it, I would love to have a pallet with my long-term storage. That means that most of my long-term storage lasts 25 to 30 years. If I were to get a pallet of Blue Can water, that means that I would have to rotate all my long-term food storage and get a new supply, and that water would still be good until that second batch of long-term storage needed to be rotated. That's a pretty cool investment. However, it is expensive, and that's cost prohibitive for us right now. So the best that we can do is buy a few cases at a time and start building that storage. We can keep some in the car. We have some for a short emergency supply, and we'll work on doing what we can. But right now we have our barrels of water storage, and that's okay.
And I totally agree. This is a great product, something that's easily transported, something that can sit in storage for a long time.
Well, it's easily transported in small quantities.
Well, right, yeah.
But I guess the barrels aren't easily transported. You can't throw one of those on your back either.
Right. I'm thinking if we had to evacuate, we could grab 2 or 3 cases of this and
Absolutely,
in the car, and away
yeah.
we go. You just have to be careful not to let these cans freeze. If they're in a place where they will freeze, that investment is gone because those cans will split and that investment is lost. For more details about this review, you can take a look at the Provident Prepper Blue Can Pure Water Review. In addition, we have other resources you can take a look at, including how to store water for emergency preparedness and tips for storing water in a 55-gallon barrel. These resources and many more are available to you on our website, theprovidentprepper.org, and on our YouTube channel, The Provident Prepper. Blue Can water is a good quality water that is packaged in a 50-year shelf life can. That means you can put it in your storage and leave it for a very long time and it will remain good. But no matter how you choose to do it, the important thing is that it gets done. Water is so critically vital to our health and our well-being. It's important for you and your family to make sure that you have sufficient. Check out the show notes for more information and details on this product. And thanks for being part of the solution.